counting down the minutes to the first pitch of today's game.
Yes!
Who's in the starting lineup?
Come on, son, you got to get out there and take the mound. It's game time.
What does the skipper have to say?
It's an attitude, you got to be willing to defend. You got to be willing to base run, or you can't play here.
It's the leadoff show powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook with Tommy Wortz on 1250 AM and 105.7 FM, The Fan.
Welcome into the leadoff show, live from the 1250 AM, 105.7 FM, The Fan studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Tommy Wortz here with you, getting you caught up on all things Brewers Pirates ahead of game number 2 today. It'll be Freddie Peralta going up against Paul Skeens of Pittsburgh, Milwaukee. 30 games above 500 right now. First pitch scheduled for 6:40 today from American Family Field. Game number 119 on the season. How are things looking today in the lineup for Mr. Murphy? I haven't even looked at him yet.
Looking up, and it is gone.
It's almost time for the first pitch. Let's see who's in today's starting lineups. Brought to you by Lakeland University. Experience it your way. Visit lakeland.edu. It's the leadoff show powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook on 1250 AM and 105.7 FM, The Fan.
Starting lineups today presented by Lakeland University. Thanks again to Lakeland University for being a part of the leadoff show. Starting with Pittsburgh, Spencer Horwitz at first base will lead things off. Nick Gonzalez at second base will bat second. Brian Reynolds in right field will bat third. O'Neal Cruz back in the lineup today. He's in center field batting fourth. Andrew McCutchen will bat fifth. He is the DH. Jack Sawinski will be in left field batting sixth. Jared Triolo at shortstop will bat seventh. Henry Davis, the catcher, will bat eighth. Isaiah Kiner-Falefa will bat ninth, play third base for the Pirates. Now for the Milwaukee Brewers, leading things off, it'll be Sal Frelick in right field. Isaac Collins in left field will bat second. William Contreras, the catcher, will bat third. Christian Yelich at DH will bat fourth. Andrew Vaughn at first base will bat fifth. Caleb Durbin, the third baseman, will bat sixth. Bryce Terang at second base bats seventh. Blake Perkins in center field will bat eighth. Joey Ortiz rounds things out. He is the shortstop batting ninth. Well, Milwaukee, the Brewers, another win yesterday, a very convincing game. The Brewers right now are just on an absolute heater. And really, right now, you can point to just a plethora of dates, right? The Brewers, the best record in baseball now by 5 games on Philadelphia, who is 69-49. Brewers 74-44. They have the best record in Major League Baseball at home. They are 40-20. They have the best Major League Baseball record on the road. They are 34-24. The Brewers 49-16 over their last 65 games. They are 25-4 over their last 29 games. They are 13-1 over their last 14 games. They have won 10 games in a row. It is the second 10-game or more winning streak. Remember, they got it up to 11 at the beginning of July. We're officially on Burger Watch again. That is something that everyone needs to know. We're on Burger Watch. Not warning, nothing yet. We got to wait. Warning, I don't think starts until 8th inning tomorrow if the Brewers are still winning. That's when you can be on Burger Warning. It is still Burger Watch indeed. But yesterday, Milwaukee back at it again against Pittsburgh. How did they get to win number 10? Let's go over it on the Rewind.
Did you miss the last game? Did you miss what was said after the last game? It's time to rewind. It's the leadoff show powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook on 1250 AM and 105.7 FM, The Fan.
Yesterday, it was Jose Quintana going up against Andrew Heaney, couple of lefties on the mound for Milwaukee and Pittsburgh in game number 1. That'll be the opposite today with a couple of right-handers going. The Brewers yesterday, the game starts off, right? And everyone, I've seen some Quintana slander coming on over, and he went through the first inning very easily. But, like, why are they so worried about it when you have a guy like Bryce Terang to just start ball games off with a bang?
Deep center, back, track, and here! 1-0 Brewers on a leadoff homer by Terang.
Highlights courtesy FanDuel Sports Network, Wisconsin. 1-0 immediately as Bryce Terang kicked things off against Andrew Heaney. Lefty, by the way, as well, too. Bryce Terang, 5 homers since August started right now. That is tied for the most in Major League Baseball in that same time frame. 1-0 after one. Quintana gets through the second inning as well, clean. In the third, he did give up a leadoff homer to Joey Bart, so that would tie things up 1-1. He was pretty clean after that. In the third inning, William Contreras lines out to start things off. Then Christian Yelich got in on the home run action.
The way, but here goes Yelich. Right center. It's deep. It is gone. Christian Yelich goes deep. He's got his number 22.
22 home runs now for Christian Yelich. Then things started to get really weird because Andrew Vaughn got an infield single to the second baseman. It was a tough play up the middle, but Vaughn hustling it out. A sacrifice from Caleb Durbin. There was 2 outs in the inning. Then Sal Frelick and Brandon Lockridge piecing together a couple of singles to give the Brewers even bigger lead.
There you go. Got a shot to score Vaughn. Here comes a throw home. Late. RBI single for Sal Frelick. He takes second base on the throw. Just texting the dexterity. There's a base hit to right. They'll send Frelick around third. Another play at the plate. All the way through. It's late again. Another 2-out RBI single from the bottom of the order.
I'm starting to wonder, like, how good is Brandon Lockridge, right? Because even though the numbers maybe don't jump off the page, it just seems like every at-bat's a good at-bat. Maybe his defense isn't necessarily up to par with the Brewers' outfield, but in a lot of other teams, he'd be a pretty good defender as well. He's just being struck into this position. He's been a fantastic addition as a fourth outfielder, it feels like, for Milwaukee. That was through 3. The Brewers would get another run on a throwing error that would bring Lockridge home to score. It was 5-1 after the third inning. Later on, Quintana continuing to deal throughout this one. Another clean inning in the fourth. A sacrifice bunt from Andrew Vaughn in the fourth inning. Got another run to come across. And then in the sixth inning, Isaac Collins and William Contreras, just keep eating your Cheerios every morning, guys.
Ground ball to first. It's under the glove and into the right field corner. Collins, he's at second, not stopping on his way to third. The throw gets by, and Collins is going to be fine standing at third. And a base hit. 7-1 Brewers on a knock by Contreras.
7-1 was the final in this one after Grant Anderson came in for relief in the 7th and in the 8th. Shelby Miller closed things down in the 9th inning as well. The Brewers would win 7-1, gave up just 3 hits in the contest. The victory to Jose Quintana. He is now 10-4 on the season. Andrew Heaney gets the loss. He is now 5-10. Jose Quintana, 6 innings, 3 hits, 1 run, 3 strikeouts. It's his second consecutive quality start and 6th overall with the team this season. It marked his fewest runs allowed since July 9th against the Los Angeles Dodgers, in which he went 6 and gave up 1 earned run. He has worked 6 innings in 4 of his last 6 starts. Quintana is the 3rd Brewers pitcher to reach 10 wins this season as well. Freddie Peralta, Quinn Priester also with the number of that or higher. Peralta at 13, Quinn Priester at 11. Bryce Terang, it was his first career leadoff home run. It put the Brewers up 1-0. It marked the 3rd leadoff home run by a Brewers this season. The last one was Sal Frelick a little over a month ago on July 2nd. The home run extended his on-base streak as well to 9 games. He has a .353 batting average and .882 slugging during that time. He is 12 for his last 34 with 5 homers. Terang has homered in each of his last 3 starts and has 5 homers in those 9 games, as we just heard, even though he only had 6 in the first 105 on the season. Christian Yelich's homer in the third was his 22nd on the year. It was the first time he'd homered since August 2nd. First homer at home since July 28th, rather. And Isaac Collins, 14th double, third triple of the season so far this year. 6th multi-hit effort game in 9 games of August right now. He's batting .444, .524 on base percentage in the month of August right now. Collins was the National League Player of the Week last week with good cause, indeed, because he has been on an absolute tear. Guy plays elite defense. His bat is must-see right now. Isaac Collins, electric. He was actually on Wisconsin Sports Daily yesterday as well. If you missed that interview, go check that out wherever you get your podcasts, up on thefanmilwaukee.com, and as well on our YouTube page, youtube.com/@thefanmilwaukee, because that was a great interview as well. Isaac Collins joining Wisconsin Sports Daily. He's up to batting. He's batting .297 on the year right now. Milwaukee has 2 guys, Sal Frelick as well, over .290. Isaac Collins, no one expecting this out of him this season. Hell of a year so far for the man, Isaac Collins.
Who is the MVP of the last game for the Crew? Who stood out the most? Let's find out. It's the Leadoff Show, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook on 1250 AM and 105.7 FM. The Fan.
Very solid game yesterday all around from Milwaukee. They put up 11 hits. You're talking about Terang with a hit. Collins had 2. Contreras had 2. Yelich had 2. Vaughn had a hit on the infield single. Frelick, Lockridge, Ortiz all picking up hits as well. I believe Caleb Durbin. Yes, Caleb Durbin, the only man in the starting lineup that did not record a hit yesterday. But I believe he was hit by a pitch. He got on base a few times as well. So everyone getting on base for Milwaukee. But it always is better when Christian Yelich is on top right now for Milwaukee. Yesterday, he went 2 for 4 with his 22nd home run on the season. Christian Yelich spoke to the media after the game as well. Here is yesterday's MVP, Christian Yelich.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to just win one game in the major leagues, but I think we've done it by just being present and focusing on the current day and not thinking about previous days or what we have ahead of us, just staying present in the moment and talking about and figuring out what we got to do to win that night.
How hard is that to do?
It's hard, and the guys have done a really good job and been really focused, and just we talk about it all the time as far as what we need to do to win, what we like about what we did before, and what we need to continue to do going forward, what we get better at, and that's like a constant dialogue in this clubhouse, and it's a really fun team to be a part of, and the guys have come a long way over the course of the year, just getting better and more experienced, and just understanding how we can play the game and affect the outcomes.
For all of the young players that are in this lineup and are contributing the way that they are, where do you think that they've grown the most or matured the most?
I think just understanding the game, understanding themselves, just baseball situations, just doing little things, whether it's knowing when to bunt, when not to bunt, running the bases, just game situations, all that stuff. And it's fun to see. It's fun to see them progress in their careers and get to the point where they're really confident in it. And then we have some of the young guys that have been here now for a few years. When the other young guys get called up for the first time, they're kind of teaching them the way that we play and want to play, and the things that we need to do, and it kind of speeds up that learning curve. And guys come here, they feel comfortable, they have clarity on what's going on in their roles, and translates to wins.
What do you think has kept you just overall as an offense so consistent?
I think just focusing on passing the baton and playing the game as a team, and understanding that that's our objective. It's like we're just trying to keep the pressure on, score as much as we can. We don't care who the guy is that gets the job done. It's just when you find yourself in a situation, try to execute, and if you don't, you've got confidence in the guy behind you is going to execute, and we try to do that the entire game and just keep adding on, or if we're down, just keep picking away and just try to get one and then two, and before you know it, you're back in the game, and anything can really happen.
You guys had 2 team meetings early and some really tough moments. Does that seem like 5 years ago?
A little bit, but it's all part of the season. I think I said it was going to be all right, and that it's all part of the baseball season, and that you never know what you're going to see. Back in spring training, as far as there's going to be really bad moments, there's going to be bright moments, and then there's a lot of in between. And we'll probably have some tough stretches, as we finish out the year. Maybe not, but it's part of the game. And some baseball's a really hard game, and I think we were pretty banged up at the beginning of the year, just trying to find our way and doing a lot of things that were uncharacteristic of us as a team. And sometimes you need to make mistakes in order to be able to fix them and have an idea of what we want to do better. And I think we did a good job of doing that, honestly. And they weren't even bad team meetings. It was just like, hey guys, what's going on, basically. Or it was more of just talking. It wasn't like anybody yelling at people or we need to play better. It's obviously we knew we needed to play better, but we knew we still had a lot of time to right the ship. I don't know if we knew we were going to kind of go on this kind of little bit of a run, but we knew it was going to get better and that we'd be in it at the end of the year and have a chance to do something.
It's been a hell of a run lately. What do you have to do to make sure that this isn't an early peak and you guys can continue to improve as the season goes on?
I don't think we're, looking back on the past, honestly, nobody cares about what we've done the past month. It's all great, but I think we have bigger goals than winning 74 games or whatever we have here. That's great, but that wasn't really our goal going into the season. We had bigger aspirations than that. We just stay present and focus on what we need to do right now, and then when we get to the end of the year, we get to the end of the year. But I think that's why we've done a really good job. It's just nobody cares about the streaks or what we've been on, and I bet you most guys in here probably couldn't even tell you. We have no idea. It's just about today, because what happened tonight, what happened yesterday, the previous few days, it has no outcome on the future, right? You can lose it quick, and I think Murph said it a few days ago. That's when you need to be the most focused and the most attention to details, because it can turn quick. Anybody can beat anybody in the major leagues, so you need to just stay on top of it.
And looking at the now, you guys played Schemes obviously already this year. What kind of challenges does someone of his caliber present?
Yeah, he's obviously a great pitcher, and we face him a lot. Those are going to be tough nights, but they're also fun nights. You want to compete against the best in the major leagues, and it's a good test for us in order to, try to grind it out and see what we can do tomorrow. And you know that you're going to have limited opportunities, so when you do get them, you gotta be able to execute and make them count for the most. But we'll be up for the challenge, and we'll see what happens.
There is Christian Yelich speaking to the media after the game. That audio courtesy of Todd Rosiak on Twitter. It is the leadoff show. Tommy Wortz here with you, getting caught up on all things Brewers Pirates ahead of game number 2. Brewers in the middle of a 10-game winning streak right now. A couple of other things to note with this. The Brewers are the first team in the major leagues since the 2019 Astros to produce multiple streaks of 10-plus games in a season. The Astros had 2 10-game winning streaks that year. They're the first National League team since the 2017 Dodgers, in which they had a 10-game and an 11-game winning streak as well during that same season. Both of those teams, I tweeted out yesterday before all these fancy game notes and whatnot came out. Both those teams lost in the World Series that season as well. Not that you should be excited or way into it at all. There's been other teams who have had 2 10-game winning streaks that has done nothing. Looking back, it's not the only 2 teams that have ever done this, but the most recent, in the last 10 years at least, that's the result that has happened for the Brewers. And you mentioned Christian Yelich. So a lot of guys probably couldn't tell you a lot of the ups and downs. Was he just insinuating the team is completely different now? And I think this is always fun because I've seen this. This is the opening day roster, right? This is the opening day roster for Milwaukee. Pitchers: Tyler Alexander, gone. Aaron Savali, gone. Nestor Cortez, gone. Brian Hudson, gone. Chad Patrick, gone. Yoel Payamps, gone. Elvis Peguero, gone. Connor Thomas, kinda here, but not really. Elvin Rodriguez, gone, right? All these guys not on the roster anymore. That's just the pitchers. That is just the pitchers right now. For the offense, or, the bats, if you will. Vinny Capra, you remember that? Of course. Legend. Ollie Dunn, Garrett Mitchell, Eric Haas, Rhys Hoskins, Jackson Churio, all of them not playing right now either. All from opening day. Churio's been a part of this run for sure. Jake Bowers, another one. Got some news on him later on. Rehab assignment, maybe. Sneak peek. The team is completely different. Right now, Milwaukee, they have Brandon Lockridge, Blake Perkins, Anthony Siegler, Andrew Vaughn, Andrew Monasterio, Brandon Woodruff, Aaron Ashby, Grant Anderson, D.L. Hall, Toby Myers, Shelby Miller, Nick Mears. Hell, you can say Danny Jansen, Caleb Durbin. All those guys didn't play opening day. Like, these guys were not on the roster. And now here they are. The Brewers, the best record in baseball, 74-44 in the middle of their second 10-game winning streak on the season. That's got to mean Pat Murphy's happy, right? Well, it's not usually how his vibe goes. That's totally okay, but he spoke to the media after the game as well. Here is the manager, Pat Murphy.
Yeah, he knows we bunt, and he told me yesterday I can bunt. He thought he got the sign, so he bunted.
He didn't actually get the sign.
Well, there's some discrepancy whether or not Lane touched it or not. Lane's from the same hometown, and he's always trying to impress upon us that guys from Santa Rosa are ball players. They know they come from where they're from. What his quote? They come from where they're from, and they're ball players. So he wasn't surprised. He's like, hey, he comes from where they come.
He showed some hustle earlier in that.
Yeah. That's the problem. Is he thinks he's fairly fast, and it's kind of like Collins going to third with no outs. Yeah, no, good win, tougher win than you think. They hit some balls really, really hard. I caught 7 balls over 100 that were caught. I know Tommy Phantom hit 3 over 100 and maybe one that was 90 some. That's pretty tough 0 for 4. Yeah. But anyways, yeah, it was good win, good.
That kind of
string things together.
Playing free, running free, is that a sign of a team? I don't know how you put it, having fun or kind of stretching their limits right now.
Oh, I mean, we have to play up-tempo baseball and offensively, We have to do that, against whoever's pitching. It doesn't matter. We're not going to sit back and try to slug. That's not our game. And I know I hear that that's the only way to win in big situations, whatever. We have to do what we have to do, who we are. If we shoot threes, we shoot threes. If that doesn't work, well, then that's who we are. We're not going to just create slug. Tell me how to do that, because no one does. No one knows that secret. It's like trying to create velocity that isn't there. Quintana's going to go out and pitch like he did tonight, giving us 6 innings in a big event, knowing that the bullpen was stretched this weekend. And Quintana was great. Anderson was great. Shelby Miller, that was really good. Really good.
Murph, on that moment where he went out to see Quintana, was it because his ankle rolled?
No, it was his knee kind of hyperextended. Yeah. Seems to be fine. We'll see. Lockridge did a nice job in center field. Some good moments. See Yelly get on it a little bit, and Contreras was great. 3 bullets. Caught a great game, called a great game.
There is the manager, Pat Murphy, speaking to the media after the game. He's talking about, creating, right? And Pat Murphy, like they have since August, they have created this monster of a team right now. And they do have other stats that hold up. For instance, yesterday, the Brewers went 4 for 8, I believe. 4 for 8 with runners in scoring position yesterday. Do you know Milwaukee has the best batting average in Major League Baseball with runners in scoring position now? They're batting .285. It's ahead of the Dodgers. It's ahead of the Blue Jays. Ahead of anyone else in baseball. Phillies, Cubs, you name it. 285. It is the best batting average with runners in scoring position. They have scored on the most singles with a runner on second base by like 20, I think I saw on Twitter. They're the only team over 100, where it's over 100 times a guy on second base scored on a single. It's the most in baseball right now. They win in other ways. Isaac Collins stretching out to a triple. Probably out if the guy catches the ball. But they do things different. And while it may not look like it, Isaac Collins stretching a double into a triple, that is creating slug. That's what that does. There are other ways to create slug other than hitting the ball over the fence, and the Brewers exemplify it right now. Coming up, we will talk to Luis Olmos today, pinch hitting actually for Austin Herdina at 6 o'clock. We'll have Drew Wagner, Forbes Sports, joining the program at 6:15. Pick his brain a little bit ahead of game number 2. Next, we'll hear from the manager, Pat Murphy, in pregame, getting ready for game 2. Paul Skeens back in Milwaukee going up against the Brewers ace, Freddie Peralta. Live from the 1250 AM, 105.7 FM The Fan studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook.
Line drive, base hit, down the left field line.
Let's see what the skipper has to say heading into today's game. Let's head to the Coach's Corner. It's the leadoff show powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook on 1250 AM and 105.7 FM. The Fan.
Welcome back to the leadoff show. Tommy Wortz here with you, getting you caught up on all things Brewers Pirates ahead of game 2. Milwaukee on a 10-game winning streak. Here's the lineup they're rocking out there for Game 2 against Paul Skeens, in case you missed it in the first segment of the show. Sal Frelick leads things off. He's in right field. Isaac Collins in left field will bat second. William Contreras, the catcher, will bat third. Christian Yelich, the DH, bats fourth today. Andrew Vaughn in the 5 spot will play first base. Caleb Durbin at third base will bat sixth. Bryce Terang at second base bats seventh. Blake Perkins back in the lineup in center field, batting eighth. And Joey Ortiz rounding things out. He will bat ninth, play shortstop for the Crew. Drew Wagner, always so kind to send over some pregame sound of the manager, Pat Murphy. Always like to play a good 10 minutes or so for you guys here on the show to really just get you guys worked up, ready to go, as the Brewers are going to set to take on the Pittsburgh Pirates. Game number 2, Freddie Peralta versus Paul Skeens. A couple of injury updates in there as well that if we don't get to all of them, I will fill you in absolutely. Here is the manager, Pat Murphy, earlier today.
The report we got today said Ms. May initiate a rehab assignment on Friday.
Yeah.
What is the May?
Well, we've got some decisions to make. That we got a lot going on, especially this weekend. We got a lot going on, a lot of movement, a lot of people that won't be with us, that type of thing. A lot forthcoming here, so it's going to be a challenging weekend, to say the least. So we've got to make some decisions on what's best for the collective group. We can't be shorthanded, and we're going to be shorthanded enough in so many ways.
Can you preview some of that for us? We know about Collins having a baby imminently. Is there anything else you can?
Yeah, there is. I don't think I can. I would love to, but it'll all make sense. So, it'll come out. What's today? Tuesday. It'll come out tomorrow. It gets a little complicated. If you're gonna activate him, how many innings is he gonna pitch, and then how does that leave? Who does it leave off, and then how does that leave the rest of your staff? And blah blah blah.
So is the question mark whether to pitch him against the Reds on Friday or pitch him in the rehab on Friday?
He'll pitch Friday. Somewhere.
Friday's the first day.
How's it looking? How's it going so far? He's got a pen today, doesn't he?
Yeah.
I retract my question.
Guy gave me this today. I don't really just try to distract you guys. I think you think that. I heard a reaction opposing. Did you see this? Yeah.
That's nice.
Woody Woodpecker.
I don't know who it is. Some guy gave it to me. It's got Ukes on the cup. Might be a tattoo or something. You know what I mean?
Who gave it to you?
I'm not going to give you that piece of information.
Is that Woody Woodpecker?
I don't know.
Mean Woody Woodpecker.
Is it AI?
I don't know. How would I know? The guy gave it to me. I don't know. Looks like an angry woodpecker.
He said in the making that someone physically
Physically handled to me.
would be a good tattoo.
Yeah. Might tat up on it, on my cheek or my neck. I love neck tattoos.
Wouldn't that be great?
Maybe it could be a new Brewers mascot. Maybe we have at least one good one.
Whoa. Whoa.
That's not great. That is right.
The sausages. The sausages.
How are the sausages not been canceled yet?
I don't make any comments on any of that kind of commentary. You guys have turned this into an absolute shit show.
We're on this stretch of how many ever games and how many ever days. Do you anticipate, I mean, obviously we're going to have to go to 6 starters with a doubleheader. Do you anticipate sticking with 6 and or maybe shuffling the pieces around more than we've seen? Because you've been able to stick, injuries aside, stick with a pretty level.
Yeah, we're going to get creative, and it sounds crazy. We've got a lot of planning going on, a lot of discussions. We've been in meeting after meeting after meeting, just trying to put our heads together and think about options. What if this? And if this, then this. The bottom line is we got to be ready to play today, and a lot have to work out. A lot has to just work itself out. We got a lot in front of us. And as I said yesterday, the steps are the same. It's just, it's a little trickier when you get closer. A little trickier.
Mark, the last time you guys saw Skeens, you had that really long, almost 40-pitch inning against him. What kind of approach do you need to have against him, knowing what he presents?
Yeah, I mean he's a big challenge, but this is the exact challenge we have to come to face with. We have to come to terms with, and you don't beat him by nobody's beating him by just slug. You know what I mean? It's paper cuts and slice a little dab off of here, slice a little off of here, and paper cut here. And, you can't just say, hey, we're going to run the pitch count up, because he might punch out 17 before that happens, because he's that savvy and that talented. You have to understand how he's coming at you, and you have to be able to put the ball in play correctly and give yourself a chance. Not too many people have been successful, just flat out buzzsawing him, you know what I mean, getting up there swinging, Oh, he's going to make a mistake. Yeah?
When you're facing a guy like this, what is that line of, like, you want to make him work, but there might not be a lot of pitches you get to hit too, and having to be aggressive there.
Yeah,
how do you kind of
it's not totally defensive reactionary. It is reactionary, but not in a defensive way. It's more convicted reaction. You know what I mean? And the ball flight has to be good. You have to have ball flight. So, convicted, reactionary ball flight.
Mark, what do you say, piggybacking off your answer to that question? It seems like you guys have just a phenomenal plan night in, night out against the pitcher, and that's a testament to Eric Tyson, Connor Dawson, Buffy, Evan Martin. Can you speak about the job that those guys have done and convicting the guys in the plan?
Yeah, I mean, they're all part of the family, you know what I mean? They're all part of it, and they have a job to do every day. They put in a ton of hours providing information, providing examples, providing roadmaps for success. Not every guy's roadmap, Vinny, is going to be the same, so they do more work per day than any two or three of us. You know what I mean? They're on it. They're committed to it. And again, they're providing information, insight, roadmap, messaging. The player has a responsibility in that. You have to get in there yourself as a player and see what they're talking about. It's not just, hey, fastball, curveball, slider, change, 94 to 96 with, velos attached to it and percentages. It's way more than that. How does he attack you and why? Where are your strengths and weaknesses, and how are you going to combat that? Yeah.
Do you think your players are good at that? Or like they're convicted to that?
I think it helps having everybody around you convicted, if that makes sense. So they're feeling that this is my responsibility, and now I got to create an awareness with that responsibility, and I think that helps. I really do.
Sets the tone.
Yelling. Yeah.
You mentioned Evan Martin. Are you calling the ninja?
Why do I call Siegler Larry?
Well, there is an explanation.
Larry Siegfried, the Celtics guard.
It comes to your mind.
Number?
Like, at least there's a connection.
Number 13.
18.
18 was Bailey Howell. 17 was Havlicek.
There is the manager, Pat Murphy, before he goes on too much of a tangent. As you heard there, did provide some injury updates. That audio courtesy of Drew Wagner. He will join us here on the leadoff show at about 6:15. It is the leadoff show. Tommy Wortz here with you. That audio courtesy, again, of Andrew Wagner. Some updates in case you missed it throughout there. Rhys Hoskins progressed to on-field work, according to Andrew Wagner. Jackson Churio running at about 75% intensity and is on track for a late August rehab assignment. Jacob Mizorowski to throw a bullpen today and could go on rehab as soon as Friday. So maybe one start down there to make sure Miz is all good, and then could be back with Milwaukee. Logan Henderson will get checked out again tomorrow, and they will reevaluate from there. There's a couple of injury updates there for you, courtesy of Andrew Wagner, who again will join the show just over a half hour from now here. Luis Olmos of the Potawatomi Sportsbook will join us as well in place of Austin Herdina. Luis going to join us all next week, I believe, too. Austin going on vacation. Luis will be a part of the leadoff show again. We've had him on quite a few times. Great guy over there. Everyone is over at the Potawatomi Sportsbook, honestly. Hospitality, the name of the game over there. Coming up, let's get into a little bit of Eye on the Enemy. We'll go into our Building a Winner feature, in which I have some more news that just recently came out in regards to some prospect news for the Milwaukee Brewers. No games yesterday in affiliated ball because of Mondays being the off days, but even more of a reason why you should probably head to Appleton. Coming up here on the other side, it is the leadoff show live from the 1250 AM 105.7 FM The Fan studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook.
Nobody likes them.
Craig Counsell returning to American Family Field.
We all want to see them lose.
It's not my job to tell people how to feel about something or even to figure it out. Let people feel how they want to feel, and I'm good with that, and I think it doesn't have to be all positive.
It's time to eye up the enemy for today's game. It's the Leadoff Show, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook on 1250 AM and 105.7 FM, The Fan.
Welcome back to the Leadoff Show. Tommy Wortz here with you, live from the 1250 AM, 105.7 FM, The Fan studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Before we take a look at Eye on the Enemy, let me run down Milwaukee's lineup again in case you missed it in the last segment. Sal Frelick will be leading things off. He is in right field. Isaac Collins in left field will bat second. William Contreras, the catcher, will bat third. Christian Yelich, the DH, bats fourth. Andrew Vaughn at first base will bat fifth. Caleb Durbin at third base will bat sixth. Bryce Terang at second base will bat seventh. Blake Perkins in center field will bat eighth. Joey Ortiz rounds things out. He will bat ninth. He plays shortstop tonight for the Crew. Joey Ortiz been awesome lately. I mean, for a guy who had switched up his whole swing in the middle of the year, Connor Dawson, if that was your idea, shout out to you, because it has been beautiful as of late to see Joey Ortiz producing at the plate. Eye on the Enemy here. We get to this usually during our 90-minute pregame shows, but it's also more exciting with the right teams, right? And, Pittsburgh comes to town a lot. You have a big sample size. Every time Milwaukee plays the Yankees, there's not a lot of experience with the new Yankees versus these Milwaukee Brewers. It's a little easier now with interleague play, I guess, being, you're going to play every team, but in the years prior, it didn't happen. So there's just not a lot of experience. However, Eye on the Enemy in the division always hits a little bit differently here on the Leadoff Show. First of all, Paul Skeens and his career versus the Brewers, right? So here's what the lineup has done versus Paul Skeens. Just go down the whole list. Andrew Vaughn's going to be facing Paul Skeens for the first time today. Everyone else has some experience against Paul. Sal Frelick, 0 for 8. Isaac Collins, 0 for 1. William Contreras, 0 for 6. Christian Yelich, a little bit of success, 3 for 8. That's 375 average. Durbin's 1 for 4. Terang's 1 for 8. Perkins 0 for 2. Joey 0 for 2. Joey Ortiz 0 for 2. So Paul Skeens has done pretty well against the Brewers. Now, this will be his fourth career appearance versus Milwaukee. And he's gotten progressively worse every time. I will say that. The first outing, if you remember that last year, just a little over a year ago on the 11th of July, is when Paul Skeens went 7 innings, struck out 11, and had a no-hitter going through that entire time. Faced just 23 batters. He walked a guy, he hit a guy in the game. So that was pretty good. It was a long way to go. Only way to go is down from there. Well, then he went 6 innings, gave up 4 hits, 1 earned run in May this year. Struck out 8 in that game. Well, then the last game was the famous Skeens versus Mizorowski game on June 25th. And it was one of his worst outings all season. He only went 4 innings. He gave up 4 earned runs, gave up 4 hits in the contest. He walked 2 guys. Paul Skeens is 1-1 in his career. That was his first loss against the Brewers. 2.65 ERA, 23 strikeouts in that time in 17 innings. Now, Paul Skeens, if you have not been paying attention to his season, now I'm sure you know the name enough and know that he is elite and going to be fantastic in this league for a long, long time. Well, that June 25th game was the last game of June that Paul Skeens pitched in. In July, he was unhittable. I mean, just unhittable. He pitched 27 innings. That was good for 6 games. 5 games in the All-Star game, sorry. But he had 5 appearances in which he had a .67 ERA. He gave up 2 earned runs to the Twins in a game that they lost 2-0. He went 5 innings or more in all of the outings and didn't give up a run in any more of them. And he finished 2-1 in the month. That's the Pirates season right now. Now, in August, he's had 2 outings. Colorado kind of messed him up on August 2nd, 4 earned runs in that one. And then he was dominant again last time out against Cincinnati. He lowered his ERA from 2.02 down to 1.94 on the season. Probably the best pitcher in baseball today, going up against the Milwaukee Brewers. Now, for Freddie Peralta, however, he has had a lot of experience against the Pittsburgh Pirates. This will be his 25th game. It'll be his 16th start against Pittsburgh, in which he has 93 innings. He has a 3.86 ERA in 2 starts this season, a 3.58 ERA in his career. Just 3-2 against the Pirates. So a lot of no decisions, which is really weird with that many games for Freddie Peralta. You would expect that number to be just totally different at this point. Joey Bart's 1 for 2. He's taken him a yard. O'Neal Cruz 1 for 12. He's got a homer as well. Some other names to note: Isaiah Kiner-Falefa's batting .429. That's 3 for 7 in his career. And Andrew McCutchen kind of has his number as well as Brian Reynolds. Andrew McCutchen 6 for 18 with a homer. Brian Reynolds 14 for 36 also has a home run against Freddie Peralta. But Brian Reynolds, it just feels like the Pirates stink, and Brian Reynolds is always torching Milwaukee every time he faces them anyway. So that is your Eye on the Enemy report. Should be a great one, Game 2, and everyone looking forward to it. Skeens versus Peralta, Game 2, first pitch set for 6:40 tonight.
The key to building a winner in baseball is a strong minor league system. Who are the names we should know? How did they play in their last game? It's time for Building a Winner. Ironworkers Local 8 brings you Building a Winner. Skip the debt. Learn a trade. Apply now at iwl8.org. It's the leadoff show powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook on 1250 AM and 105.7 FM. The Fan.
Yes, time for another Building a Winner feature presented by Ironworkers Local 8. Thanks again to Ironworkers Local 8 for being a part of the leadoff show all season long. No action yesterday in minor league baseball. Dominican Summer League, however, did have some games. Brewers blue team wins 3-2 in 7 innings, while the gold team loses 4-3 in 7 innings. Blue team now 26-23. Gold team 23-27. However, if you missed it yesterday, a new update of the top 100 prospect list came out. Jesus Mate now ranked the 5th overall prospect in baseball. Luis Pena, the number 16 prospect in all of baseball. They as well are going to be making their home debuts against for the Wisconsin Timber Rattlers, which is exciting. The manager, Victor Estevez, spoke a little bit about what it's like to have Jesus Mate and Luis Pena a part of the team. Here is the manager, Victor Estevez, speaking earlier today.
Victor, I know it's been, not that long that you've had the two, but what are your early impressions of Jesus and Luis?
It's really good first impression, especially, first week with us. Both of the guys hit a homer, so that was impressive. And I saw a little bit of those 2 guys back in the DR Academy starting the year. So both guys have been very impressive, and hopefully they continue to do what they've been doing.
What do they add to this team?
They add everything right now. So they are, pretty good offensively. Both guys are very good base runner. And then also, their defense in the middle of the field is a plus for the team right now.
Does it help that they kind of know each other? They have that chemistry already?
Yes, it really helps, especially because they've been working and playing together since the Dominican Academy. So they did pretty well over there. Then they went to Carolina together, performed really well, so we're expecting to have the same thing here in Wisconsin.
Yeah, the organization has kind of made it seem like they're a package deal. Do they feel like kind of like a 1-2 punch together constantly? One's never any place without the other? Or?
They really have fun together. That's they have a really good relationship, and then I think it's fun when you find a group like that they have a really good relationship. They work together. They go out there and perform really well.
How do they carry themselves, being only 18 and already, getting as much attention as they are?
It is impressive. I was talking to somebody about that, being 18 years old and have to deal with a lot of media, a lot of people around. and they still have the ability to come to the field, prepare, and perform out there. You don't see that very often.
How do you think they've been making the adjustment? Obviously it's their first game, but how have you seen them, just in their maturity and how they kind of handle those games, even in practice and in BP?
Man, like I said, it's been very, very impressive. Like watching those two guys come to the field and prepare, it's outstanding. So like for a kid like 18 years old, I'm very impressed as a manager right now.
How have you noticed that he's hitting left-handed? What does that kind of add to his versatility, and also just is that something that you have a lot of experience of ambidextrous hitter?
Like Mate being a switch hitter is definitely a lot of value to him. He's a really good right-handed hitter, and then he's making some adjustment from the left-handed side. So having a middle infielder that can be a switch hitter, so those type of guys, you keep them in the lineup forever.
And what does this kind of mean for the Rattlers in general? Just having, packed stadium, people are going to come from all over the state just to see them. What does that mean for the team?
It means a lot, I think not only because they're here, because also they are really, really good teammates. So they took care of their teammates really well. And then it means a lot because it's always fun to have all the fans come here and then support the TRS.
Victor, how will you determine where those guys play defensively? Because they both can play multiple positions, obviously. We try to get kind of equal looks by the end of their time here at multiple spots.
Yeah, it's going to be even. Like Made and Peña, they're going to play 3 and 3 at shortstop. And then they're both are going to play like 2 games at second base and probably have 1 day off because we know it's August already. They might be a little bit tired, so we need to buy at least 1 day off for each guy.
There is the Timber Rattlers manager, Victor Estevez, speaking on Jesus Mate and Luis Peña. And some recent news, if you haven't been on Twitter, on Thursday, so 2 days from today, Brewers' first-round pick, Andrew Fisher, will also join the Wisconsin Timber Rattlers for his debut with High A Wisconsin already. That is a phenomenal news. It's a massive jump to go from collegiate baseball to up to High A, and it's going to be Andrew Fisher making that jump with Wisconsin Timber Rattlers, High A for the Milwaukee Brewers. That's just awesome news to hear. Really exciting. Todd Rosiak, that audio courtesy of, and he's up in Appleton watching Jesus Mate and Luis Peña in their first game for the Wisconsin Timber Rattlers at home. Like I said, go get your tickets. Go get them. Moving these guys up all the way. Going to be fun all season long. Thank you to Ironworkers Local 8. This Building a Winner feature presented by Ironworkers Local 8, building Milwaukee's future one beam at a time. Coming up, we're going to talk to Luis Olmos over at the Potawatomi Sportsbook, pinch hitting for Austin Herdina today. Get you some of the best bets if you want to get any action on today's game. Milwaukee Brewers versus the Pittsburgh Pirates. Freddie Peralta going up against Paul Skeens for game number 2. It's the Leadoff Show, live from the 1250 AM, 105.7 FM The Fan studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook.
Let's get the latest on today's odds for the game. What's the best way to go? Let's check in with our expert from the Potawatomi Sportsbook to find out. It's the Leadoff Show, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook on 1250 AM and 105.7 FM, The Fan.
Welcome back to the Leadoff Show. Tommy Wortz here with you live from the 1250 AM, 105.7 FM, The Fan studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Before we get over to our guy, Luis Olmos, over at Potawatomi, let me run down Milwaukee's lineup in case you missed it before. Leading things off, it's Sal Frelick in right field. Isaac Collins will bat second, play left field. William Contreras, the catcher, will bat third. Christian Yelich, the DH, bats fourth today. Andrew Vaughn at first base, batting fifth. Caleb Durbin, the third baseman, will bat sixth. Bryce Terang at second base will bat seventh. Blake Perkins in center field will bat eighth. Rounding things out, as usual, the shortstop, Joey Ortiz. Joining the show now, as he does each and every time Austin Herdina can't, it is Senior Media Manager over at the Potawatomi Sportsbook, our good friend and buddy, Luis Olmos, joining us here on the Fan Guest Hotline, powered by Gruber Law Offices. Luis, how we doing today, my man?
Doing well, Tommy, doing well. Hoping I can come in and, I'm not trying to deliver a home run in this pinch hit. Maybe, a walk.
Yeah.
Right, a good at-bat.
Hit by pitch works. Wear one.
I'll be the Roger Dorn, right, where you just put me in and I lean into it if I have to.
None of this Olay crap here, all right, Luis? Yeah.
No, pull me for that pinch runner right away. Get off back in here. Let me get one under my belt and keep the good times rolling.
Well, Luis, I'm pretty sure last time we talked, the Brewers stunk, man. I mean, I don't know if they were good. They might have been mediocre at best. Now they're the best team in baseball. We always talk a little bit about it for a second with Austin, but I know you're a massive Brewers fan too. This has been one hell of a summer, my man.
It's been a fantastic turnaround, and here's a fun stat I'm going to give you. When we were talking, earlier in the summer, things were bleak, right? We were hammering unders. We were just hoping the Brewers could get a run. Since June 19th, when I became a father of two, the Brewers are 35-9
wow.
in that time. So shout out to baby Camila, because I think she's the one bringing this team a little luck right now. So 35-9 since that young lady entered the world. That's my neato stat of the night here for this team.
Well, I mean, the Brewers have just 7 more losses than you have children right now since that time, Luis. That's amazing. That's a great stat. Baby bump for sure for Milwaukee during that stretch. Luis Olmos over at the Potawatomi Sportsbook joining us here, pinch hitting for Austin Herdina. Looking over at your most popular bets, Luis, got the Brewers favored on the money line, minus 136, minus 1.5. We'll get you plus 180 odds over at Potawatomi. And that over at 6.5 today with 2 studs on the mound in Paul Skeens and Freddie Peralta. What are you looking at today? Start a little parlay up for the people today, Luis.
Yeah, we have a true blue pitchers duel, right? Like the second time in 2 months that we get Skeens and another ace, right, with Freddie. But I love this guy's on fire for the Brewers. Bryce Terang over 1.5 bases. When he faced Skeens back in June, he had 2 hits out of him, and he's been barreling the ball. Like that home run he had on Friday, and even these are some bombs he's hitting. So I love Terang over 1.5 total bases, and Freddie Peralta over 6.5 strikeouts. It's the lights are on bright, so I think Freddie's going to deliver. He's been having some short outings, so I like that over 6.5 strikeouts. For Freddie to get you plus 400 odds on that parlay.
Plus 400 on Bryce Terang over 1.5 total bases. Freddie Peralta to have over 6.5 strikeouts. That's the parlay today from Luis Olmos over at the Potawatomi Sportsbook. I would love to see that out of Freddie again because it has been a little uncharacteristic. He was phenomenal in the first half, and Bryce Terang leads all of baseball in homers right now since August 1st. 5 of them already after just hitting 6 in his first 100 games before then. The power stroke, indeed, awesome from Bryce Terang. I completely agree. Luis, what do you guys got working over at Potawatomi? How's the shuttle been going? I've been asking Austin about it. So I just can't. I'm in awe of the idea every time. I just think you guys are geniuses for doing it, and it's actually like a service because all you have to do is go place a $5 bet on the Brewers to win, and you would have made money over the last 10 days at doing that as well, and you get a free ride on the shuttle from Potawatomi.
Right. No, the shuttles are going fantastic. It's another amenity that we can offer, our fantastic, clientele that we have. And I'm staring out my window right now and the sun is shining, but it's pouring out. So, come park on the 4th level of the garage, right? Walk in through the skywalk. You don't have to hit the rain. Don't touch the rain. Place a $5 bet. Get yourself a nice cold beer, and that'll get you a wristband. We're offering shuttles today and tomorrow, so don't worry about anything else. Just come and park, and we'll take care of the rest. Shuttles will be going great. People love them. And then book your fantasy football draft. If you're still looking for a draft to have, Potawatomi.com. Austin and his team are taking care of that. And we've had some great demand. And if you're not looking for that same cookie cutter type of draft, come and have it here. Come and have it at Potawatomi, where you're going to get fantastic service, some great food, some drinks. Hopefully you draft a championship roster.
Yeah. Did you get to try was it the, I can't remember if it was called the tailgate package or whatever. It was the Wagyu corn dog. Did you get to try that yet, Luis?
It was, look here, I'm going to say I'm not a corn dog type of person, but that was unreal.
Yeah.
I'm like that. Like, you think a corn dog, right, from like your county fair, the state fair, and then you take a bite into this, and it's unreal. The food options that we have available there, from that corn dog all the way to our, signature John Kuhn platter that we have there, that you get so much bang for your buck. It's unreal food. So come on down for a Brewer game early and have some food there, have a beer, place a bet, and then get on the shuttle. It's the best type of service that you can get for your dollar in the city.
Yeah, I completely agree. I can't wait to try it next time I go down. I got to get a Wagyu corn dog. Usually I'm a Cudahy guy. Wagyu and Cudahy don't go together usually, but I will corn dog and Cudahy, like totally the exact same speed. So I can go up a couple classes for that one there. Luis, also I know they got UFC coming up this weekend. If people want to make a reservation, how much you do that?
Yeah, it starts at $50. But you get that right back in food and beverage credit. So book your table. It's going to be a fantastic card this weekend. There's some good baseball going on. There's preseason NFL. So there's, we're starting to ramp up on that sports viewing. So if you want to do that, go to potawatomi.com/sportsbook. You'll see reservations right there, and get your table, for that great card coming up this Saturday.
Yeah, I can't wait for it. That's going to be awesome. Potawatomi Sportsbook, always hooking it up. They're a great friend of the station here. Obviously, the shuttles now, they are a great friend of Milwaukee with that service to everyone. Plus, at the end of the night, you end up at the Potawatomi Sportsbook Casino. I mean, you go have some fun around there as well. Don't you get like slot play with that as well for the fantasy football? Did I remember that correctly?
Fantasy football, you get slot play, but also if you ride the shuttle and then you ride it back to the casino, we're going to give you some slot play or table game, when you ride that shuttle right back. So, we're always trying to take care of our folks and give them something back, right? Just reward them for coming in. And, you never know when that slot play turns into, a jackpot. So come down, give it a shot. Yeah, for the fantasy football, and then for riding the shuttle back as well, we'll have some reward play for you.
Yeah, didn't even know that. See, it just keeps on getting better every time we talk about it. Luis Olmos joining us here in place of Austin Herdina. His parlay for the people one more time. Bryce Turang over 1.5 total bases. Freddie Peralta over 6.5 strikeouts. That'll pay plus 400, courtesy of the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Luis, have a great rest of your day. Stay dry. Hopefully the baby keeps the momentum going here. Congratulations on that as well. And, of course, go Brewers.
Go Brewers. Thanks, guys. Have a good one.
There he is, Luis Olmos over at the Potawatomi Sportsbook, joining us, senior media manager over at the Potawatomi Sportsbook as well. His parlay for the people one more time. It is the over on 1.5 total bases for Bryce Turang. It is Freddie Peralta over 6.5 strikeouts. Staying away from the money line, I see today from Luis. Should be a good one. Also, last time, I remember the run line also being, I think, at 6.5 when it was Skeens versus Miz. That went over last time, as Paul Skeens had a little bit of trouble last time getting out of it. Only went through 4 innings, as you remember, from that game in late June. Coming up, as Luis Olmos jumps off the Fan Guest Hotline, powered by Gruber Law Offices, one call, that's all. We got Drew Wagner of Forbes Sports joining us here, as he does each and every day on the leadoff show. And if I'm not mistaken, he is going to join us via video this time. I have no idea what has gotten into Drew Wagner, why he wants that to be the case, but he will not be calling in. So if you're watching us on the YouTube page, it is The Fan Milwaukee, at The Fan Milwaukee, youtube.com/@TheFanMilwaukee. You're going to see Drew Wagner. And I know so many people listen to this station all the time, but I don't know if people actually know what this guy looks like. So hop on the YouTube stream, take a look at us. Myself, Tommy Wortz, and Drew Wagner coming up on the other side. It is the leadoff show live from the 1250 AM, 105.7 FM The Fan studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook.
What's the latest on the crew? Let's go inside the clubhouse with Drew Wagner of Forbes Sports on the Leadoff Show, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook on 1250 AM and 105.7 FM The Fan. Inside the Clubhouse is brought to you by Focus Baseball. Sign your kids up now for July open tryouts at focusbaseball.com, ages 6 to 17.
Welcome back to the Leadoff Show. Tommy Wortz here with you live from the 1250 AM, 105.7 FM The Fan studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Before we get over to Drew Wagner, Forbes Sports, Milwaukee's lineup today one last time. Sal Frelick leads things off. He's in right field. Isaac Collins in left field will bat second. William Contreras, the catcher, will bat third. Christian Yelich, the DH, bats fourth. Andrew Vaughn at first base will bat fifth. Caleb Durbin, the third baseman, will bat sixth. Bryce Terang at second base bats seventh. Blake Perkins in center field bats eighth. Joey Ortiz rounds things out. He is the shortstop, batting ninth. Joining the show now on the Fan Guest Hotline, powered by Gruber Law Offices, Forbes Sports, where you can find his work. You can follow him on Twitter at @AndrewWagner. It is Drew Wagner joining us here on the Leadoff Show. Drew, how are we doing today, my friend? You got to unmute your mic, Drew. I mean, this is the first time on the computer ever. Now You got me. You got. All right, there we go. There we go, Drew. Is this the first time you made a video appearance on any of these shows?
First time I'm making a video appearance here in honor of our fearless leader taking a day off to. I just say he's doing it to avoid me after pointing out some astute statistical knowledge last night.
Yes, astute indeed. We were texting about it before. You got it in front of you there. I think I've been kind of spoiling it throughout, but we were talking about it, and whoa, the trade deadline. I don't know if the Brewers made enough of a splash, but the lineup did from that moment on already.
Yeah, it really has. You know, the one thing that we've heard these last couple of weeks is the Brewers don't have enough slug. They don't have enough power. They don't have enough pop. Now, this is a really small sample size, but basically the trade deadline, July 31st, right? The month of August. Second best slugging percentage in all of baseball right now is the Brewers at 536. Their OPS ranks second at 925, and they're tied for second with 18 home runs in all of baseball. So again, it's a small sample size. It's 10 games,
right?
Not even 2 weeks, but the slug and the power that everyone has been looking for is starting to show up. And the good news is there's more coming. We know that Christian Yelich has it in him. He's in he's a little bit of a downslide right now. He had the home run the other night. It's coming back. You're getting Rhys Hoskins back, who's probably going to provide you some pop off the bench. You're getting Churio back, who's got just as much power as anybody on the roster. Like, those slug numbers are going to improve over the next couple of weeks, and that's going to make this Brewers offense all the more dangerous.
Absolutely. And on top of that, Drew, Pat Murphy makes a comment always where it's like, show me how you create slug. You can't create slug, right? Well, slugging percentage, right, doesn't necessarily only include homers, right? And I look at like Isaac Collins yesterday stretching out that double into a triple. Now, is he probably out if the guy catches the ball? Maybe. But that's creating slug with what you have right now, Drew. And I have these stats here that I didn't even notice until like an hour ago, right? Since June 4th, Isaac Collins is first in Major League Baseball in batting average with a 339 batting average. He is first in on-base percentage at 439. He is second in WRC plus at 180, and his WAR is 2.9. That is also second in all of baseball right now, Drew, in that time frame. So when Murphy says, how do you create slug? There are moments like that with this team where you can create slug by taking extra bases.
Yeah, I mean, slugging percentage, it calculates batter's power hitting ability, calculated by dividing your total bases by at-bats. Obviously, home runs is more bases. Okay, fine. But the Brewers take extra bases all the time. And sometimes sometimes it might just be a single, but yet then they're aggressive on the base pass, and they're finding themselves at second base. They're finding themselves at third base. They're in scoring position. And all it takes is stringing together a bunch of hits just like that to put up gaudy numbers. Yeah, you can do it with one swing of the bat, but not everybody has that ability. The way that the Brewers do it, it may not be quote-unquote traditional. It may not be what people have come to expect, especially in this modern era of launch angle baseball, but it works. They have been scoring runs at a ridiculous clip the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, and they're first in Major League Baseball in run differential right now, which is maybe the most important stat as well in baseball, too. Drew Wagner joining us here on the Fan Guest Hotline, powered by Gruber Law Offices on the Leadoff Show. And, Drew, another one I wanted to bring up here, kind of a player just from yesterday and really maybe just been a little underrated almost since here. The defense hasn't really showed out. But Brandon Lockridge, I texted you yesterday and asked you, like, is he good right now, Drew? Because even if he's not getting on base, it feels like every plate appearance, the guy is taking you deep into the pitch count. He's fouling off bases, and he can slide in wherever and fitting a party yesterday where he has that single. He does the stolen base, that old Brewers steal where they go to second, and then a guy comes to score. Like, he's fitting into this team perfectly, it feels like, for the very limited role he's going to have.
Yeah, I can't remember what the exact number was, and I think it was Sunday. He was 0 for 3 with a walk. So obviously not gaudy numbers, but you look at his at-bats. I mean, I think he saw something like 40-some pitches in the 4 at-bats. They were all lengthy, battling at-bats, which, okay, you don't end up with a lot to show for it other than the walk, but you're making that pitcher work. You're seeing pitches. Your teammates are seeing pitches. Like, there is benefit to all of that. The guy's really performed well, and he's driving in runs when he has the opportunity, and the Brewers need him. Like, again, it wasn't a flashy pickup, but it definitely addressed a need the Brewers had, and that was outfield depth. And he's more than holding his own. He fits the mold. He does exactly what this offense is designed to do.
Drew Wagner joining us here. And Drew, let's talk a little bit about today. And it's Paul Skeens going up against Freddie Peralta. Now, last time Paul Skeens came out, the Brewers were able to get the best of him, had him pitch a 40-pitch inning, I think, in there, only went 4 innings, gave up 4 runs in that contest. Is that the strategy on Paul Skeens? Is it you got to make him work? You got to make sure that these at-bats count whenever they're up there. The Brewers have been very good at pitch selection over the last few weeks. On top of that, what is the strategy when you go up against the best pitcher in baseball for an offense?
Well, you have to be careful with it because, as Murph pointed out in pregame today, you can sit there and make him work and take pitches and all this, and next thing you know, he's got 10 strikeouts already. The guy's really good. I think the Brewers, as constructed, as a team that doesn't rely so heavily on the home run, has a slight advantage in this situation because we talk about it all the time. Home runs are thrown, not hit, right? The guys that are really good pitchers don't make a lot of those mistake pitches that guys can crank out of there. What they do is battle around the zone. They try to get you to chase. The Brewers are not a chasing team. These guys are going to have to be on their mark locating today. The Brewers are pretty good at picking that stuff up. So I think the Brewers have a slight advantage in the way that they're built as not being a home run heavy team going up against a guy even as good as Skeens.
Yeah, and now Freddie Peralta on the other side, right? He gets the extra day rest. We had heard yesterday in the sound you sent over. Thanks for that. We played a little bit more today as well. But yesterday, that was not asked by Freddie. That was just precautionary. That was the team deciding to do that. Gave Quintana an edge, I guess, to go the other day if they were going to do that. Is that like a long-term thinking late? Like, let's have Freddie next to Woody in the rotation? Why do you think that move was made just from the Brewers' perspective, and how do you think it benefits him today?
I mean, the extra rest never hurts anybody. I mean, Freddie has made all of his starts on schedule this year. Sometimes it helps to get a little bit of an extra day to rest. There's a lot of things that go into it. Keeping another guy in his schedule, matchups. There's so many little things that go into these decisions that it's almost not worth wasting a lot of time trying to dissect because there are so many things that go into it. I think at the end of the day, they thought it might set them up pretty good to flip those two guys, and then you got Freddie ready to go next week, in the doubleheader as well.
Drew, I know that we talk a lot of Brewers together, and we rarely go into the minor league game, but your buddy Todd Rosiak up in Appleton right now, covering Jesus Made, Luis Pena making their first career games at home in Appleton for the Wisconsin Timber Rattlers. And then some more news getting dropped on us in the middle of the show. Andrew Fisher already heading to High A, Wisconsin, and he should be there on Thursday. What is your reaction to that? And, are you going to be able to make it up to Appleton before the end of the season to see some of these guys?
Hoping to make it up there at some point. Was hoping tonight could have been the night, but, things kind of got in the way of that. And, of course, it looks like I lucked out because it looks like they're pulling the tarp up in Appleton right now. So that game's probably going to be delayed for a while. But, it's pretty exciting. Those two guys, they were tearing it up at Carolina all year. The Brewers have really high hopes for them. They're incredibly talented young prospects. And now adding Fisher to the mix, the Timber Rattlers are going to have an absolutely stocked team for the next couple of weeks, this second half of the season. If you have a chance, get up there and check them out.
And then would you anticipate that probably all three of them start there next year? Like, can any of them have a cool enough, awesome enough spring where they get bumped up? I can't imagine they go back down once that happens.
No, you never know. They could go up there and just absolutely rake and show that they're ready for the next level. And the Brewers do like to kind of be aggressive in terms of their promotions. A lot of the times their best prospects are the youngest guys at their level. We saw that with Jackson Chourio. We saw it with Made and Pena. They were the youngest guys in the Carolina League by far. I believe they're the youngest guys in the Midwest League. I wouldn't be shocked at all if all three of those guys hold their own, that you could see them, at Biloxi to start next season. I think it would take a pretty significant downfall for those guys to end up back in Appleton.
Yeah. All right. Well, you heard it here. Drew Wagner ready for the future right now. Game 2 coming up, Peralta versus Skeens. Drew, thank you so much for jumping on. Thanks for jumping on the video, too. That was cool. Now everyone gets to see how beautiful you are, and they can, all wonder and wish. The viewership went through the roof after I told everyone you were going to be on camera. So I'll let you know. I'll pass any YouTube comments your way in case they're asking for your number, all right?
What, did it go from like 3 to 7? Is that?
Hey, that's a 200% increase, whatever the math is on that. So if that's what it was, I mean, everyone would take that on the march.
Still higher than Suarez's OPS plus with the Mariners.
Will it be higher than his homers at the end of the second half? That's the real question. Now, that's what we're watching. If Bryce Terang has more homers than Eugenio Suarez, I feel like apologies are going to be needed on this station. That's what we're going with. Drew, have a good rest of your night. Enjoy the game, my friend.
Yep, we'll talk tomorrow.
There he is, Drew Wagner, joining us on the Fan Guest Hotline, powered by Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all. On the YouTube stream, come on, Drew Wagner, what a guy. I mean, can't believe it. Everyone's going to be jealous that I got him first before everyone else. One more thing to get to before we get out of here.
How does the crew win today's game? Who needs to step up? Let's find out with the keys to the game. It's the Leadoff Show, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook on 1250 AM and 105.7 FM, The Fan.
Keys to the game, how we always wrap up every leadoff show. It's going to be working at bats with Paul Skeens. Last time they had the massive inning where he pitched 40 innings. And that's kind of was the recipe last time. It kind of was. You know, I understand you don't want to take pitches the whole day and don't be aggressive. But I still think they need a big inning. They're going to need to have Paul Skeens throw a 30-pitch inning at some point in this. You cannot have him get deep into ball games, because the deeper he gets, the stronger he gets into the ball game, it feels like. And Paul Skeens, he's one of the best pitchers, if not the best pitcher in Major League Baseball. Getting him out as soon as possible. Today's keys to the game. That's going to do it for us here at the Fan. Tommy Wortz been with you the last 90 minutes. First pitch, just about 10 minutes away from American Family Field. It is Freddie Peralta going up against Paul Skeens for game number 2. Brewers on a 10-game winning streak. Best record in baseball. 30 games above 500, 74 and 44. If you guys want to check us out wherever you get your podcasts, make sure you do that. Apple, Spotify, YouTube also is an option now. At the Fan Milwaukee on YouTube. We'll be back tomorrow. Leadoff show starts at noon, as it will be Brandon Woodruff going up against Mitch Keller for a 1:10 first pitch from American Family Field. Live from the 1250 AM, 105.7 FM The Fan Studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Don't forget, send them home.